Hey guys, I am back with another tutorial and this is a festival inspired makeup. Don't forget to subscribe. So let's get started. Here I'm applying NARS Creamy Concealer in Biscuit to prime her lids, and to blend it out I'm using the mini beauty blender. Guys, this is awesome, an awesome tool. You guys have to get it. And to set that, we're going to use the RCMA No Color Powder, and that's just going to help it so our eyeshadows can blend easily. So as the first color for transition on her crease, we're going to use the VISEART eyeshadow palette in number 1 Neutral Shadows. And this is just a warm neutral color that is going to help blend all the other colors later. I'm also applying that in the outer corner of her eye just to blend everything together. Now I'm going to be using the BH Cosmetics 88 Matte Eyeshadow Palette, and I'm going to be layering all the colors. The first color is going to be that light blue shade, and continuing with more blue, I'm going to be using the BH Cosmetics Day and Night Palette, and that blue shade I'm going to be using on the outer corner of her lid and just blend it in a little bit onto her crease. And I'm going to continue to layer. That's going to be like one of our main blues that we're going to be using. So yeah, just continue to blend that on the crease. Seeing that same fluffy brush that we used for her crease with that warm tone, I'm going to use to blend in that blue that we applied, just with no extra color. And now to intensify that outer corner, I'm going to go back to that first palette that we used, the BH, and I'm going to intensify her outer corner. And just continue to deepen her corners and go into her crease as well. This is the best way to get these type of looks, is just by continuing to blend and continuing to layer. Don't go in with a whole bunch of product all at once, because it's just going to be really blotchy and really hard to blend out. Now again, going back with that fluffy brush, I'm just going to blend in everything. And back with the Day and Night BH palette, I'm just going to blend in on the outer area of her crease. And with the dark blue shade from the BH Cosmetics palette, the Day and Night, I'm going to really intensify that outer corner just so it really pops and we get all those gradient shades of blue. And you guys can just see that I'm continuing to just layer everything. Now with a smaller blending brush, I am again going back and blending those blue together. Now back to the VISEART palette, I'm going to use this matte shadow, and I'm going to apply that on the lid with a flat brush. Make sure you use patting motions to get the most color payoff out of it. And again, with this shade, I'm also layering. This way you have more control of the pigment, of the shadow, and everything that you apply. Now to clean under her eyes, I'm going to be using these makeup wipes. And this is also going to help me to get that really sharp, clean line. And I'm kind of working, like going back and forth. Right now I'm applying the KIEHL'S Ultra Moisturizer Cream on her face just so it can absorb while I continue working on the eyes. And now I'm going back to that BH Day and Night palette, and I'm going to be using that dark blue shade to line her lash line so we can apply the falsies and it has something to just blend into. And I'm going to curl her lashes to prep for the falsies. I'm applying these Elegant Lashes in RWSP, and I'm using KIEHL'S lash glue. Now as foundation, I'm going to be using NARS Sheer Glow in Syracuse and just evening it out. And I'm also using a beauty blender. Now to contour her face, I'm going to be using the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate palette in number 2. And I'm just kind of applying. I'm not being too careful about it because we're going to go back in and blend it with a beauty blender. Now I'm just applying it to contour her nose. And back with the beauty blender, I'm going to blend everything out. Now to conceal her under eyes, I'm going to be using the NARS Soft Matte Concealer. And I'm just applying an even layer all under her eyes. And this is just going to be to conceal, we're not highlighting yet. So just wait, and I'm going all the way up to where I contour her nose. And this is going to help me so her nose can look smaller. And to blend everything, I'm using the Mini Beauty Blender. The shade that I applied, it was Honey, and it has a peach undertone, which helps me color correct as well. Now to highlight and help me brighten, I'm going to use the NARS Creamy Concealer. And this is in Biscuit. And I'm going to be mixing NARS Creamy Concealer and Honey. And I'm applying Biscuit on her forehead, and I'm going to apply it on her nose as well. And the reason why I applied it in dots under her eyes is because I don't want to wipe away any of the concealing that I did before, so that's why I just apply it in little dots. And with the Mini Beauty Blender, I am again blending everything out. And now to set under her eyes, I'm using the Ben Nye powders in Pretty Pink and Fair. And I'm going to use everywhere where I highlight her face. And to set her face, I'm using the RCMA No Color powder. Now to contour, I'm using one of my favorite products, is the INGLOT HD Sculpting Powder. And this is just going to, I'm just pretty much everything that I do in cream, I also do it in powder, and this is going to help it so your makeup can last all day. And as blush, I'm using MILANI Cosmetics in Luminoso. And I love this shade, it kind of has a glow to it, so it's really nice. Now as a highlight, I'm applying L'Oreal in Gilded Honey and SENNA Cosmetics in Divide and Shine. I'm just being super extra, and I just have both of them, but you don't need both, you can just use one. And now to continue with her nose contouring, I'm going to apply the RCMA No Color powder, and just the same way I applied her concealer, now I'm going to be applying the powder just to help me with the concealing. And to contour, I'm going to use the Benefit Cosmetics HOOLA bronzer. Now to kick off all that baking that we did, I'm using the MAC Cosmetics Studio Fix in NW35. And I'm sorry, my hair is all over the screen, but for to highlight her nose, I'm using L'Oreal in Gilded Honey. And now going back to the BH palette, I'm mixing those two colors, and I'm going to apply them on the inner corner of her eyes. And I'm going to make sure that I blend in that with the shade that I put on the lid, just so everything looks good. Now going back to that blue that we applied on her upper lid, I'm going to apply that on her lower lash line, and basically all the colors that we used, I'm going to also apply in there. And make sure you spend time on blending them so everything looks seamless. Now with that dark blue shade, I'm going to apply that on her lash line, really close to the lash line, and I'm going to also be using that as a blue liner because I didn't have a blue liner, so I'm going to be using that. I also like using powder shadows on the lash line because that always helps the color stay longer. And I'm going to apply more of those light shadows on the inner corner just to make it a little bit more dramatic for when I apply the glitter. And now I'm applying the glitter. This part was so scary because I didn't want to mess it up. I wasn't sure how it was going to work, but I'm using like 4 different shades from Sally Girl, and to apply it I'm using the KANDY Cosmetics Liquid Sugar, and it works really well. So just take your time and try to blend in the colors. You don't have to take it as low or put as much or use as many colors, but this is just an idea, and I really like the way it turned out. Now I'm using these, they're like our jewelry decals. They're for the nails, but they work really good, and they already come with the glue on, so it's really easy to apply. And the one that I'm applying on her forehead also came with the kit, so that's just like a bigger extra one. And like I said, I just work back and forth. I mean, my brain is all over the place when I do makeup. So now I'm going back to doing her brows. And you guys will be able to tell, but at the end, they're kind of uneven. It's just a really hard angle to, when you're filming, to be able to get the brows perfect. So I apologize about that. And now to cover her brows, I'm using the NARS Soft Matte Concealer again in Biscuit. And this is just going to give her like just a cleaner look. And to set her brows, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel. And for the rhinestones, I love this part. I think it just completed the look so good. But these are just rhinestones that I got from Michael's, and I'm using again lash glue to apply them. And I think it just looks so beautiful. It just like pulled the look together. And now back to the eyes. I'm applying mascara, and I'm using L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara. And again, I just work back and forth. I apologize. Now for her lips, I'm applying KYLIE Cosmetics Dolce K, and I'm going to be layering another color, but this is just the base color. I wanted to keep it really nude and just neutral because I wanted the eyes to be what stood out. And now for the center of her lips, I'm applying MILANI Cosmetics Metallics Lip and Chromatic Addict, and this is just very metallic, and it's just going to highlight and give it like a really nice pop. We have come to the end of our tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you recreate it, please let me know. I love you and thank you so much.